Hey. Yeah, so last Sunday was pretty intense. Last couple months for me, been pretty rough. Just to kind of bare my heart. I was seeing Jonathan. He's my best friend there, and he's being just elevated to these. He's doing great things, and I'm so proud of him. I see him doing that. And Dean and Adam and Caleb, the people I really call my brothers, my friends, my spiritual father. They're moving and they're doing this stuff, and I wasn't feeling like I'm not doing jack. I'm just filling a space, and not that I was like looking to be noticed or elevated or something like that. I'm like, God, you're just moving ridiculous through their lives. It's great, and I'm behind him, and I support him, and I pray for him 100%. I'm with him. But what are you doing with me? I'm just breathing right now, that really, as much as. I honestly, truly felt like, I wasn't jealous, but I'm just like, God, what are you doing with me? I'm literally just breathing air right now. I'm not hearing from you. I'm not, experiencing you. I'm playing drums, Sunday mornings and Wednesdays. But a monkey can beat on a drum. I get a good feeling. I feel God. It just, for me, it's anybody else can fill this spot. It's just not it's just a position. I want to experience you, and I'm not. And it's just, it just kind of kept compounding, and it really fed into. I started pulling back. I'm like, if I just started really getting isolated, and along with it, just kind of depression starts to set in, just kind of, and then you start feeling like, well, yes, we need to link arms and stuff. Yes, we need to carry each other. But if I can't handle this on my own, when I am on my own, I won't be able to handle it at all. So I'm just going to have to pull back a little bit more. I can handle this myself. That's kind of a Schwendeman thing. Like we're very independent. We're very hard-headed. In a good way, I guess. When attacks come, it's good to fight them. But just it kind of compounded, and the isolation started pulling back, and I really felt like my heart was starting to get hard, and I was getting angry and very frustrated, and it just kind of kept going. Prophetic word after prophetic word, service after service. It's reading my mail, but I started to resign, and. There was this last probably about week and a half has just been ridiculous. It's like, God just kind of, I've had enough, just get up. But yesterday, I've been trying to get back into things, and I've been trying to pray and listen to worship music and stuff instead of just kind of what I like to listen to on like some heavier rock stuff. I just trying to spend some time with God. And yesterday, I set my alarm for 7 o'clock, and I said, "That's it. Tomorrow morning, I'm getting up, and God, I'm meeting you." And alarm hit 7, and I was like, maybe 15 more minutes. And I was like, I set the alarm for 7:15, and I just closed my eyes for a minute again. But I couldn't go back to sleep. And I was just kind of laid there, toss and turn. Like, as much as I kind of want to meet you, God, this is comfortable. My heating blanket is great. But the alarm goes off again. I'm like, I'm not going to bed anymore. I got to get up. I got to get moving. So I jumped up out of bed, and I put my phone in the corner. And my little brother, he lives with me. He's on the other end of the house. I shut all my doors, so I wasn't going to kind of wake him up. But I put on some worship music. I turned it all the way up. I shut my door, shut the bathroom door. I just turned on the shower. I just hopped in the shower, and I just closed my eyes, and I started praying. I really just started bearing my heart. I was like, God, I want to honor you in everything that I'm saying, but this is what I'm feeling right now, and it's not okay. I really just started bearing my heart, and with this 100 days of prayer, really forcing myself. Sometimes it's like kickstarting a cold motorcycle, and it's just like, it sucks to start. And then you just kind of keep pushing, because it's like, it's the desire of my heart to communicate with you, and for you to communicate with me, and I'm not in the right position. And I was sitting there in my shower, and I was praying, and I started speaking in tongues, and Jonathan came to mind, and I was like, God, I thank you that you're moving through Jonathan, and Caleb came to mind. I'm like, I thank you for moving through Caleb, and Dean came to mind, and the church came to mind. I just started thanking God for moving and doing what he's doing in this place. And for, talking with people, kind of what he's doing in people's lives. Just start praying over people and thanking God. And it was like, all of a sudden, the atmosphere just shifted, and things got so heavy in my bathroom. And I've met God before, and I've encountered him in ways that's just, some people would say it's a little intense, and it's just kind of me. Sometimes to get a point across, you kind of have to hit me in the face a couple times. I'm just like, hey, pay attention. I've had experiences with God where it's like a coming back to Jesus moment, where you just get crushed. It's just like you feel like you can't get lower than the carpet, because the presence of God comes into the room, and everything just in you is crushed. But yesterday morning, I'd never felt anything like it. The music was playing. I stopped praying. I just closed my eyes, and I lifted my hands. And the atmosphere got so heavy, I sank to my knees, and it was such a sweet presence that came in to where I was at. I literally felt God walk into the room and put his hand on the back of my shoulder. And that was significant for me, because when I was in Zanesville working, there was a woman that came up while we was at work, and God told me to pray for her. And she had purple. She was an older lady, and she had white hair, but it was dyed purple. And I was like, that's just the coolest thing. But it's like, yeah, punk grandma. It was like, I didn't do it. She wound up leaving, and I literally felt it felt like God's hand on the back of my neck let up. And I just felt desperate, and I was like, I've got to have that back. I've got to have your hand on me, or else I can't do it. I won't make it. And wound up, I chased that older woman down. She came back, and I grabbed a hold of her, and I was like, is there any, I didn't physically grab a hold of her, but I kind of approached her, and I was like, God was telling me to pray for you. I didn't, I'm sorry, but is there any way that I can just pray for you right now? Wound up, she had cancer. And she looked at me with tears in her eyes. She was bawling. Her friend was bawling. I was bawling. My work's over there. Everybody's kind of looking at me, but I didn't care. After I prayed with her, she's like, I didn't know your generation heard from God anymore. So this whole situation just comes up, and I feel that hand go back onto my neck after I finished praying with her. And I was like, yes, God, you are back with me. Not that he ever left, but there is a place where you step outside of grace there when God tells you to do something, and you say, I don't think so. You're kind of putting yourself in a position of judgment that you don't want to be in. But I felt his hand come on me, and this whole scenario just replayed in my head. And it was just like everything that has been this last couple months for me was just sweetly crushed. And I've never experienced anything like that. Like I said, usually you have to kind of grab a hold of me pretty hard. But for God to come into the room and so sweetly just wrap a hold of me and put his hand on me, it was like I felt the hardness of my heart just break down, just like an eggshell. It got crushed. But I wasn't scared. I wasn't like, oh crap, God's in the room, and yeah, I'm wrong. Oh, woe is me. It was, my Father God has walked into the room, and he started speaking with me, and I started just speaking with him.